What advice would you give to the students who are coming to Germany and they want to do a lot of part-time? Hello everyone, my name is Shraddha and I make videos related to Germany, and in this video I am interviewing Samy, who is a co-founder of Coracle, which is a blogged account company, as I've already shared a video about blogged account, and today I'm interviewing him so that we can learn more about his story. Hi Samy.
Hi Shraddha.
So, how long have you been in Germany?
So as of today, 2021, it's been 17 years.
Wow. Okay.
Quite long.
Yeah, it's quite long. Like 17 years, I couldn't even imagine someone coming to Germany. Okay, so it would be really interesting to know about his story, his struggle, and how he opened his company, about the blogged account. So yeah, I would like you to start your story or introduction, a brief introduction about you.
Okay, yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have much an interesting story, but let's give maybe a kind of like a short snapshot.
I mean, you were a student like us, right? With no backup or nothing to support, like without any German skills, but you did something, you found a company, you helped so many students.
That's true. I did manage to navigate through the forest. Maybe, so I come from India, small town in the southern part of India, and so I did my bachelor's in electronics and communication, like engineer, like the typical path during my time.
Yeah.
And so I worked for a couple of years in Bangalore, and that was in 2002, and in 2004 I came to Germany, to Hamburg, for my master's.
Okay.
So I studied here my master's. That was in 2004 and 2006.
That was also in electronics.
No, that was a bit different. I studied information and communication systems, with the focus on information security. The wireless security, how do we secure information that's been transmitted wirelessly? So to be precise, that was my but that was the end of it. I never worked or started my career in that direction.
That's interesting. And the other thing is, at that time, were the courses were in English or in German 17 years back?
My course was in English. Wow. So most of the time, you know, like the master courses, it was in English, and all of my friends who studied other courses in Hamburg, it was more or less in English.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, okay, so during your student time, it's hard to manage the finances, right? So what did you do to manage your budget during that time? What, without knowing German? Did you do part-time jobs, and how did you manage your finances?
Yes, I did, multiple part-time jobs.
Okay.
But again, during our time, there was no blocked account concept, right? So, so what we normally do is, I was just pulling funds from, I don't know, friends and family before when I came here. Okay. So it was like 7,000 plus euros. So I kind of like sent most of the money back immediately, because my mother was living alone. My father died a year before. So the finances were pretty tight. And which means, I had to do something.
So you had the responsibility to,
to manage myself. But fortunately, I also got a scholarship from the Bharat Petroleum. So they used to provide scholarships to very few students who were going abroad. But that was helping me on one side, and I was looking for all kind of like jobs.
Like what kind of jobs? Because students are very much interested to know about the part-time jobs, and where can they find those jobs? Yeah,
so I did work in Burger King. And so I did clean plates in the football stadium. And so I used to go and do the handy jobs where they need some support for demolishing some things, transporting some things.
Wow,
so
I've done like a lot of things, like different types of things.
But the most interesting for me, memorable one is during winter time we used to go out on the streets to clean the snow. That's a well-paid one, well-paid job that time, and it was like really. I was enjoying the job because I come from south of India. Had never seen snow in my life, and early morning, 3 o'clock, we go to the streets.
3 in the morning.
Because you need to have the streets ready at the 7 o'clock when the civilization, begins their
Their day.
begins their life. So we go as a team, so clean the signals, pedestrian crossings and stuff like that. Sometimes if it snows heavily, you come back, clean it again, get paid twice. So I was doing this kind of jobs, and in my later stage, then I was working with Philips as a Philips medical systems as a part-time, some technical work. I think from there it kind of helped me to get my internship in Philips, my thesis in Philips. So
that's nice.
I kind of then left all the non-technical crazy jobs.
What advice would you give to the students who are coming to Germany and they want to do a lot of part-time jobs? Sometimes they are so much fascinated by the money they earn that they sometimes forget what they have come for, the main purpose. So what advice would you give to them?
So I am a very big advocate of take things one by one. So especially for the new students who are coming to Germany, I always say don't think anything else other than settling and then studies for the first semester.
Yes.
Because you have enough time in Germany, So I would really encourage students not to think about part-time jobs for the first semester.
For the first semester.
And then once you get settled in, you know how the system works, and then try to get into a job that is kind of like in line with your studies, if it possible, with jobs in the companies, so that might open few doors for internship and thesis and so on, which is very helpful for the future, when you search for jobs. If not, then just do any job as long as you can manage your finances. Manage your finances.
Finish your masters, and after that, did you work, or what was in your mind?
I think it's basically the idea was to find a job after your degree. And for me, during my thesis time, I was doing some more hardcore research oriented topic for my master thesis. And during that time, it was clear for me that research, technical topics is not my cup of tea.
Same here.
It took some time, but then even in India, I was trying to do get into IIMs, and I didn't get through that and so on. So then I realized it was the test that it takes 2 years to really
realize what you actually want in life, right? And not to think about the others, what they expect out of you.
That's true. So I was at least one thing was clear for me, not in the technical side of it. And then I was trying to apply for non-technical jobs consulting and other kind of jobs, project management and so on. And that was the time I realized, so these kind of jobs, you really need to have German. That's also in a very good German. And I was also aiming very high. I was applying for the big fours, the McKinseys and the Bostons and stuff like that. That's where you start, and then you realize, it's
your level
and then German. So they expect a fluency in German. I didn't have, very basic. And then I was applying for all possible job applications that I can manage to see. That's not something very technical. And I managed to get one job in a company where I was responsible for coordinating an outsourcing project. Then I kind of started as a project manager there. The management had confidence in me because they must have noticed, I'm capable of
your
that.
caliber and your proactiveness.
And it became, I think at that time, it became one of the largest digitization project in the world. So we were doing it for a British library. We have been digitizing around 2 million pages a month. So that was talk of the town that time. It was a really, then that was the story. I became a project manager.
And how many years did you last in that company? How many years did you work with them?
I worked there for for 4 years.
4 years.
And that was the time the financial crisis has been hitting hard, and then governments are not spending more money on these kind of cultural and preservation projects, and then our projects became smaller and smaller. It was not really motivating me to continue. And I was looking for new opportunities.
When did Coracle, the idea of Coracle hit you?
So the idea of Coracle hit me even very late after that. So after the 4 years of this project management role, I moved into an energy utility company in Hamburg. So there I was working as an operational excellence, like managing operational excellence concepts, and it was more like couple of strategic projects. And it was like around like 8 years, like six plus years there. That's like a proper corporate setup because it's one of the biggest European utility company. And I think by end of my exit from that role, I kind of started to feel, okay, these things are true, very strategic. You don't see the results right away. I want to do something on my own with all the skills and experience that I've collected in those years. And that was the time that I started to think, okay, I need to do something on my own. And it was not right away Coracle, so I was just exploring very different ideas. So because as you see, I've been moving around with my expertise. So I don't know. Some of the ideas was scrapped off from the paper. Some of them started but didn't fly. And then in that phase, I was more thinking of, okay, I was more looking for a problem, let's say. So then I realized, okay, I need to find a problem and then try to solution for that. You know, that was my thinking. And then it happens accidentally. I was talking to some students from TU Hamburg because I'm an alumni of Hamburg. And there were some issues with the insurance. And then I really realized in this engagement, they took some insurance without knowing what they're getting into. And we thought, okay, I thought maybe there is something here we can do to bring with more transparency for the whole process. And then that's the kind of seed. And then I got in touch with my co-founder, Matthias, who's an insurance and financial expert. And then from there, it kind of like the idea was born. So
what were the challenges in the initial phase of this company? Or
I wouldn't say setting up a company or, you know, these like infrastructure related or, you know, like the policy related challenges. It's pretty easy to, you know, get through. And of course we also, I also had a German co-founder, you know, it makes things also easier. And so I think once the idea was born, then you are into it, you get very good resonance from the market, from the students, and then that was it. From there we realized, okay, there is a blocked account is another headache for the students, and then we have been working on that, and then it's kind of like one step after the other, and now we are
is the history.
We are still making history.
You're still making history. So any other advice that you would want to give to students who are coming to Germany?
I'm a man of advices, so if you show me the mic and then I can talk for hours. Talk for hours. Jokes aside, couple of things. I think it's not, one thing is not so, it's been heard and mentioned thousands and thousands of times. It's about the language, German, you know. So I highly encourage students to learn German before coming to Germany, but not try to push it to B2 or something like that. At least the basics, you know. A2, A1, A2. I think I would say A2 is pretty good, you know, and because for the higher the level you go, it's better to learn the language here with the natives in an engagement more with the other students. So you learn a lot more by speaking, you know. And second one, I will stop here with the second one.
No, you can give three advices from Samy.
So be open to the society. You know, things are different. People don't approach you. You know, it's not like in a bus ride in India. Within 15 minutes, both parties know the family, how much jewel you bought for the marriage of your daughter, stuff like that. It's not going to happen here because the society is like kind of like built in a different way. But it breaking the stereotype, Germans are quite open. You know, it's not, they are not open in the way that one expects to be open. They're not going to say, hey, hello, hi, come. It's not going to happen. Yeah, exactly. But once the ice is kind of like, like broke.
Take initiative, right? That's
exactly
what you want to say.
Yeah. So if you keep shy, then nobody bothers. Then you know. And I was really, when I realized it after 1 year, then I think my connections has like like expanded, and then my German got got better, and then I got into like some areas, some clubs in a nice way, where normal so
where you made friends.
Friends, and not only young people, elderly. So I am part of this marksman club. So it's basically a shooting club, for example, where I was the only foreigner who got admitted into this association of the club. It happened only because we managed to like engage. So long story short, don't be shy, be open, and if you don't get the response as you would expect, don't become sad or demotivate. Keep doing, try to engage with as many as people possible, so some Germans, Europeans, so this will help you to understand the way they think.
And number third advice, last man of advices. Then we will wind up this video.
Don't make too many plans into future,
Okay, that's something.
because in the sense like what I'm going to study, what kind of jobs I'm going to get, what kind of career I'm going to establish. I think it's natural thinking.
Be flexible.
Because if I now look back into all my, let's say, batchmates, hardly anyone is working in the field of what they studied. For example, my life took me into somewhere completely different. Some of my friends who studied mechatronics, they are into aerospace industry, but not related to mechatronics, what they do. Some of them like managing some quality control. BMW, who is not even from the automotive studies. So things are if I look back, the life is taking them in a different ways. So it is not, for me personally, it doesn't make any sense to make like long huge plans in the future, and because you never know.
Because life changes, right? For me as well, I'm an instrumentation engineer, and now I will be starting my job in procurement.
Another example.
Another example. So I will be in the procurement, in the management side. So we can make a video on that, like talk about how you can navigate through things.
We can go a bit deeper in a separate.
We can make a deeper video on this topic, but for now, be flexible. That's what you want.
And be open.
Be open-minded.
Take
open
life as it comes.
Just be easy on yourself.
Exactly. You have enough things on your plate that will make you, test the limits. So don't make things hard by yourself.
Thank you, Samy, for all these advices and nice story that you have. I think it would motivate my viewers. So thank you so much.
And we can survive in Germany. So we are all living examples here.
He survived. I survived without knowing German.
A lot other people are succeeding and surviving.
So it was really nice talking to you, and we will see each other in next video. We will discuss the topic that we have left in the end. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you with more useful information. Until then, bye.